Just got a call from Dad here. He is hauling manure and he's having a little bit of trouble with the skid loader. We've been having some trouble with this thing starting, so once it gets hot, it doesn't want to start again. So we'll have to see if we can get her going here. These are the wires going to the starter, but look at this. Nothing.
Does that look like it's just broke?
Oh, I see where it goes. There's a ring terminal right here. Let me grab a wrench. Not the right size. I got it with the impact. It was just this teeny little screw. You see that? Couldn't get it loose with the screwdriver, but we bumped it with the impact and it came out. I got a box of these ring terminals here. I think this is the one that's going to work for us. Strip some of this coating off here.
You need me to hold that with vice grip?
I think I got it. I'm just trying to think if we should. Do we have any heat shrink in there?
He gets here.
It'll be a little while, right?
Well, I don't know. He thought maybe 4, I guess. So.
There's a little torch in the back of the truck.
In the back seat.
It's in that brown bag, I think. It's hot enough. This guy over here yet? Yeah, that'll work. I bet you this was a problem all along. I bet you whenever we would tap it, it just so happened to like make better connection, you know.
And what did the temperature have to do with it?
I don't know. Let's see if we can do this without dropping this little thing. That'd be a bummer. At least it feels good that we're finding the problem, right?
Yeah, I hope.
I think we're all set.
You put that on right.
Okay.
You ready to drop the cap down?
Yep. Hit that lock there. Where's that thing at? Push it up a little bit. A little more yet. Go up. There you go. Now come down slow. Okay. All right. Let's make sure those wires are tucked in there.
I'm an optimist.
I think that was the problem.
It's still.
Oh, we never hooked up the battery.
That's right.
That's good. Way down in here. Stop getting myself shocked. Okay, let's try it now.
You know, I hope. Looks good so far.
Perfect. Well, the corn's coming off, and that means it's time for the flurry of the crop change. So corn's off, and now we got to haul some manure. We're gonna haul manure. We're hauling some bedded pack today. We hauled some liquid yesterday, and we got the ground that we took off here at home for silage. We got that all covered with liquid, and we already put the bedded pack on here, and so we're hauling the bedded pack into the ground into Mount Joy, where we took off the earlage. And yeah, so we'll get the bedded pack on, and then we're gonna go get the tillage tool from the neighbors that we rent that from, and we're gonna run over this ground with that tillage tool to incorporate that manure into the ground, and then we should be set for planting. So we're not gonna plant quite yet. We should wait till at least the beginning of October to do that. So we're gonna hang on a little bit, but at least the ground will be all ready, and we can get in there with the drill as soon as it's time. Juicy. In other exciting news, guess what I got in the mail just this morning? Went out to the mailbox, there was a little package in there, pants. So I got my 1620 pants back. I had sent them back in. I don't know if you guys remember that video, but they were pretty worn out. I sent them back in, and they said that they're gonna repair them. So sure enough, they did it, and they sent them back to me, and with a couple patches, a couple stitches, but we're back in action and back in our 1620 pants. I probably should have shown them to you when they were still clean, but they weren't clean for long because I put them on and like 2 minutes later they were already dirty, so get what you get. All right, Dad and Earl are gonna finish hauling manure there, but I'm gonna run and get that tillage tool a while, so that's here. And then I think maybe we'll switch tractors, put the Magnum on the McFarlane, and we'll put the McCormick on the spreader to finish up. And that way we can start working ground a little bit later today here. hydraulics up because we're just going to unhook it at home to switch tractors, but I should hook the lights up. Try to keep it off the road.
Yep. Just keep them happy.
This manure we're hauling into the other property in Mount Joy, and so we kind of got to go through town to get in there. So try to make sure nothing's gonna fall off on the way since we're going through town. All right, it's the next morning. We didn't get started working any ground last night, but we got started early this morning. We're running this McFarlane Insight 5120. This is the neighbor's tool that we rent, and it's doing a pretty nice job. I got it all set up this morning. This thing is really adjustable. You can adjust the angle of the gangs and stuff. So yeah, we got her all set. We're rolling this morning, and I think it's going pretty good. It's doing a nice job. So got a bunch of ground to go over today, and so we thought we'd get an early start. So this is a vertical tillage tool, so this is not flipping the dirt. It's just sort of like giving a little bit of lift to it, and incorporating the top a little bit. So it makes a nice seed bed to get ready for planting, and it also incorporates the manure that we put on, just works it down into the ground a little bit. So that's an important part of keeping the nutrients in place. So we're going to run this over this ground where we're going to plant our barley, and then some of it would just get a cover crop, but everything will get planted. A little bit dusty out here, and the dust is kind of just hanging around because it's so still this morning, but we're getting a nice sunrise over there. All right, we got that first field done, so I'm gonna take a little break, go check on things in the hog barn, and then we'll get back at it a little bit later today. Like I said, this is the neighbor's tool, which is really great. They have a couple pieces of equipment that they rent out, and it's really great for us because a tool like this is really expensive, but we could never really probably justify having a tool like this for the ground that we farm, but it works out nice that they have that tool and they rent it out to everyone, so we kind of all share in the cost by renting it, and it gives us access to tools that we need. It's really been a blessing having them on board, so thanks. This tool is really a flexible tool. It has a lot of adjustments. Like I said earlier, the gangs can adjust the angle. So right now we have it set at the minimum angle which just gives a light shift on the top, but you can set it from 3 to 9 degrees. And it also has kind of like a chopper wheel, and you can raise and lower that, so you can decide whether you want that on or off. Yeah, so it's been working out pretty great for us, and we've been happy with the job it's been doing. You can see that it's really leveling things out nicely. It's incorporating that top level manure into the top couple inches of dirt. That should give us a good seed bed that we can drill our winter crops into. As you can see, it's pretty dry out here. We're making a little bit of a dust cloud, but it's actually working it up pretty good for being so dry. I wasn't sure, sometimes when it's dry it gets really tight, but it's working it up pretty nice. I think this should be great for drilling.
Feed the babies? Yep. Alright, it's me and the boys. We're kind of getting a late start to feeding calves because the girls had a tennis match, and we were at the tennis match. Boys had cross-country practice after school. They came over to the tennis match. And then when we got home, I realized the calves weren't fed yet because I forgot. I gave a list of dates for Sarah and Earl to see if they could fill in for when we had tennis matches and cross-country meets, because the boys were running cross-country. And for some reason I forgot to put this date on my list. So, much to your dismay, we still had to feed calves yet. But we did get to see that pretty sunset. So, alright, let's get these poor, hungry babies fed.
So we gotta feed the electrolytes over there, like where Jaren is. There's calves over there in that pen. They're getting all crazy. They're all hungry? Huh? So we gotta dump out all the water from these guys. Oh my gosh. If there is any water, which for some reason there's not. That's good. I'll take all the buckets out. Then we can feed the electrolytes.
Aaron do it since he can reach better with his long body and arms. It's for up top, so I just need to put it on the 6-wheeler. Gotta get these guys some water here yet, and then I think we're done. We just gotta go up top. So after this we're done, we'll go up top. Oh, guess who I found? In your spot. You're picking on that guy today. Like, he's in.
She thinks they don't know where she is, but they know.
See, like, if you chase it out, you can run around in a circle up here.
Yeah,
and
I
try to get
think
from
I'm
behind.
show you that.
Yeah.
I think they've seen it.
See?
There she goes. She's gonna come back around. Oh, no. She's in her stalking mode. What are you doing? Keeping your eye on that guy. You're funny. How'd you get that shirt?
I got it for doing pull-ups for like the Marines stand at the E-Town Fair.
That was a couple of years ago already.
Yeah.
But that's how he got a Marine shirt. So people see what it says. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Yeah. I asked Jared how he got his shirt. And I just thought that how you guys like to do pull-ups. Let me see your barn pull-ups. Probably feels hard doing it on that board.
Yeah, it is weird.
Got another one in there.
Those are hard. Not very good for this.
I can't do them.
There's some chunks in here. Unless I forgot. It didn't look like I just I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, it's all small parts. Like, it's not big parts. The big bottle is nice because it's a bit bigger than the others. That's what we call the big bottle. So we don't have to like pour the extras because it pretty much already does that on its own. So you can just put the buckets right up. My bottle.
I don't know, JD spilled some.
dogs usually lick that up when if they're up here.
I got it.
These guys, I bet you guys get mean. Yeah.
That's good, so they can get it out here. Let me try and push it.
You could have just put it on this and drove it backwards. I don't think I timed it.
Loaded. This hose, it might have been left on, or it's just, it gets like that sometimes. But it like filled up, it blew up too much. So now there's a little hole in it. It's melting. I got some of this guy's wet down there.
So ever since we started feeding calves, kind of like we do now, we have been dipping the milk out with bottles. You guys saw them doing that. You guys seen them doing that a lot. Well, I thought there should be a faster way to dip them out because you have to kind of stick the bottle in, bloop, 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 wait for it to fill up, dip it out. So I was trying to think of a way that we could dispense the milk better. And I've been working on this for a long time. I've been collecting parts for probably a couple years, actually. But last week I thought, you know what, it's time to get this together. And so I had this idea of creating this milk pump that you pump it, and each pump is 1 bottle's worth. And you stick it in the bucket, and I thought that'd be pretty slick. So we got all the parts together, and last week I finally got it together. I got up early a couple mornings and put the pump together. I got parts to make 2 of them because I thought we wanted 2, but I put 1 of them together, and let me show it to you. All right, so here is the pump that I made. There's basically 2 check valves here. So when you move the piston up in here, this check valve allows it to come in, but all the motion always goes this way. It doesn't go back out through there. So when you pull it up, it sucks it in through this side, and then when you push it down, pushes it out through this side. So this is the plunger. I actually had this this part machined to put this O-ring on there. So this thing fits in here like this. And then this cap is the guy. There's a pin that holds this cap on. The cap is not only a guide for the handle, but it also limits the stroke so you don't pop it off the top, okay? So the idea is that you have this pump, so you take this is water of course, but you take this, you dump the water in this bucket, okay? then you have this hose. You have to run it up and down once or twice to get all the air out. See, there's air in there. Here's the bottle. So normally they dip it in there, fill up the bucket, blub, 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 see? And then you go to your little bucket and you dump it out. Seems like not so fast. Here's the idea with the pump. So you pull this up, you push this down.
The bottle would be your little bucket in this situation.
But just to show you that we get exactly 1 bottle's worth, see that? Right to the top. So you don't need to use the bottles. You just go along to all your buckets like this. One bottle, 2 bottles. Like that. So I made this pump because I thought that this would be a nice way for us to divvy out the milk, but it turns out that everyone that feeds calves doesn't like using the pump.
That's not true.
Well, the reality is it's too slow. It's too hard to pull this thing up and down, and so Heather said, well, I can dip it out. If I use 2 bottles, I can dip it out faster with the bottles.
Look at the cat.
So, anyway, turns out that the milk pump idea is a no-go. We gotta go back to the drawing board. It is pretty hard to pull up, huh? It's just so hard to pull up. What's that cat doing?
It's not bad. Like, it's not bad.
So after all that planning and building, the milk pump is a bust. But we'll figure something else out. There's lots more ideas. I already have a couple ideas already that might be faster now that we know what we know from this one. And so we'll have to see if we can put them together. Hopefully it doesn't take me a couple years to get that one together. But we'll keep at it. We'll get it a solution. Catch you guys next time.